everyone out there. Hello and welcome to the show. Listen, I'm glad to have you guys here on this Friday the 27th of November 2020. Welcome to the show. Now listen, guys, here's the thing. Let's take a close examination of well, if you guys aren't familiar with it, a lot of people are familiar with it, but the Economist magazine cover from way back. I mean, we're talking about this cover was done years and years ago. But we're going to take a look at it. We're going to examine it. Let's see, what year was it? 1988. Can you imagine? 1988. That's, what, 32, almost 33 years ago? Well, here's the thing. Let's talk about this a little bit, and I'm going to tell you how this meshes in with my predictions. This year started out good. The end of 2019, we went into this year, started out good. And what happened? Well, it ended out, how did it end? It's ending horrible. So it started good this year. And it's ending horribly bad. I believe that the start of this year coming, this next year, is going to start bad. And it's going to end good. It's the exact opposite of this year. This year started good and ended bad. Next year, it's going to start bad, really bad. It's going to end good. But the following year, 2022, I believe is going to start great. And it's going to end with a catastrophe, unimaginable catastrophe. And so what's this all about? I think it's got everything to do with the Economist magazine cover from way back in the 80s. They were giving us advance warning of what they planned on doing. And they gave us years and everything. And they gave us a whole bunch of information can be gathered from this magazine cover. First off, the Phoenix is a long-time symbol of the god of death and rebirth and rejuvenation and so on. You know, it's related directly to gods that have been there's like 140 different versions of the dying resurrected God-man around the world. And in the core, seated in the core of our religions. I'll go back to one of the famous ones. From the time going back, was Mithra. Mithra was one of the famous dying resurrected godmans. But, you know, the phoenix represents this same thing. And it's in symbolism from our seasons. You know, you get, and the sun. It revolves around the sun and our seasons that we have in the year, you know. And so you go back to ancient times, the phoenix, he died and he was resurrected from the ashes. But in this case, in the phoenix on the cover of the Economist magazine is symbolism. And what it symbolizes is, it symbolizes the old system dying and being resurrected from the ashes to live again as a new system. Not the old system, but the new system. So it symbolizes the new system erecting itself from the ashes to be born again as a new system. And what is the ashes from? Look at what the phoenix is standing on. He's standing on, you can see all the paper currencies of Earth. And they're all burning. This symbolizes them becoming valueless. The burning and turning to ash. You can't do anything with ash. You can't spend ash. It's valueless. But this symbolizes the hyperinflation that's coming. This is exactly what it symbolizes. The burning of these fiat currencies. All of them. We see all of the different fiat currencies under his feet. And the year on the coin is marked 2018. So I believe that they had planned to have the middle of this hyperinflation in the year 2018. Well, you know, I talked about 2022. What's going to happen in 2022? It's going to be such a catastrophe like the world has never seen before. And what I believe it's actually going to be is the hyperinflation. I'm going to tell you guys exactly what's going to cause it. Central bank digital currencies. That's what's going to, and a recovering economy. Those two factors together. So as we move into next year, as we start this year, we're going to start it really bad. We got a virus out there, a pandemic. We've got over 50 million. I'm going to call it 50 million, but I'm being very conservative. People in the United States who are having trouble feeding themselves. And I mean, their voices are not going to go unheard. The central bank digital currencies are being prepared for these people who their jobs aren't coming back. UBI is being prepared for them. That's basically what's going on right now. They are working on these central bank digital currencies while we speak. I know you're not hearing a lot about it, but they're working on it. And they're going to send payments out to each, and all they're going to have to do is sign up. Prove that they're out of work. Prove they're an American citizen. Sign up. They'll probably give them a little plastic card. The same, and they can take that plastic card right to Walmart and buy their groceries, buy whatever they need. They can use that plastic card to pay their rent. They can use it to pay their power bills. Probably going to be like $1,500 a month or something like that. They're just going to put on those cards. And the guy's still not working, but he's going to be able to feed himself again. Well, all that injection of capital, money, this is direct fiscal stimulus into the Main Street economy, is going to pick up the part of the economy that's lagging right now. That's going to pick it back up again. People don't have money to spend. Money's going to start to flow into the general economy. At the same time, these lending restrictions and stuff are probably going to be loosened later next year by the banks. And, the banks can create tremendous amounts of money, too. At the same time, next year, as we start to move into next year, we're going to see the vaccines come out. And we're going to see the virus start to shrink back. People are going to want to live again. They're going to want to fly around. They're going to want to do all these things they haven't been doing. Go to restaurants. New restaurants will be opening up because the old restaurants close. The old owners go out. They lock the door up and everything. They put a vacancy window on the sign on the window or whatever. We're gone. They pull their sign down or whatever. They're gone. Right? A new guy might come in next year, maybe midway through the year, to see a need for a restaurant to be there, because that's what the original need was. As people start to come out of their homes, as restrictions are lifted, what do you think's going to happen next year, guys? I see it, a recovery coming. So the year's going to start terrible, right? And it's going to end great. It's going to end great. That's what's going to happen. I can see it. I can see it right in front of my eyes coming, right? But this is going to start the hyperinflation. So if the hyperinflation comes in 2022, like I'm predicting, right? So 2022 starts great, and it ends terrible because we're in the middle of a hyperinflation. So that's the burning dollars and burning yen and burning British pounds and burning all of these different currencies under its feet. It says 2018. So if it comes in 2022, what's the difference? Were they wrong? No, I don't think they were wrong. I think they knew exactly when the hyperinflation was coming. So, but you guys are saying, well, it didn't come in 2018. That's right, it didn't come in 2018. What if something came along out of nowhere and messed up their plans for 2018 so that the hyperinflation is 4 years late? Think about this for a minute. Maybe they had to forestall their plans for 4 years. Something might have came along out of nowhere and set them back for 4 years. I don't think they've given up. I think it's just that they want this gold coin. This is the thing. This is the centerpiece of this whole entire thing. So you got the phoenix here, right? And you notice he's got a diadem on his head. That diadem was called a regalia. That means that he is regal, or king. He's the king. He's the king. And this is symbolic as well. He stands for the standing new system. So the new system's going to rise from the ashes of the old system. And the old system is going to die because all of the fiat currencies are going to burn. Death and destruction, you know. So death and destruction to all the old fiat currencies. And a rising new system, rising from the ashes. And say they're 4 years late. 2022. You know. So 2022 starts. We're in this economic recovery, but what happens with this economic recovery? Well, people are building things again. People are doing things again. People are making loans from the bank and everything else. The bank's lending out lots of money. Money's hitting the system. The velocity of money starts to rise at the start of 2022. Okay? And we're also seeing people spending money, and there's a shortage of products because we haven't got around to building all of our manufacturing back and things like that, right? And so, there's a vibrant economy at the end, say the end of next year. We got a vibrant economy, you know, we're moving into 2022, and the acceleration of the velocity of money, and there's more money coming out from everywhere. You're going to see massive inflation beginning. But that's a ball that starts to roll down a hill. And all year, 2022, it'll have a chance to roll down that hill. So by the start of the year, we're probably going to see 1970s-style inflation. But by the end of the year, it's going to much exceed that. It's going to go beyond the moon, the inflation. So I think 2022 is going to be the year for Bitcoin, gold, and silver, because they're going to feed off of this hyperinflation, and it's going to go faster and faster and faster. And they are part of the accelerant that's going to make these fiat currencies become worthless. And, you know, the way it's going, it's actually pointing more toward Bitcoin. I know that gold and silver are going to pick up some of this, but I could see Bitcoin becoming the one that really takes a hold of it all. Now, really, could that coin around the bird's neck be Bitcoin? I mean, Bitcoin's very mysterious. Something never been seen before. Come out in 2009, after the original financial crisis, 2008. And, you know, Bitcoin has very mysterious, it's the way it's written on it. It's very mysterious, the way that it's sculpted, the way that it's coded. That's the word I'm looking for, coded. The way it's coded, you know. There might be a lot of things that we don't know about Bitcoin. A lot of mysterious things behind the coin that we don't understand. Perhaps Bitcoin could be modified in some way so that, I mean, okay, when you send your Bitcoin over the internet, you use an address. Now, the way Bitcoin is now, I mean, you can pick any address you want, and it's hard to identify the address with the person. And this is what makes Bitcoin anonymous. This is somewhat anonymous, because it's hard to identify an address with a particular person. But just think what they could do if, instead of banning Bitcoin, if they made a wallet and banned all the other wallets except their wallet. Okay? So the government comes out with a wallet. Worldwide, in every country, they adopt this wallet. They adopt a wallet. And that wallet that they adopt, they say, okay, you can't have any of these other wallets. We are going to get rid of all the other wallets out there. Only a government-approved wallet. In order to get this wallet, you have to identify yourself. Okay? In other words, you have to give them all your ID numbers, your address, where you live, who you are, everything, photo identification, everything. And they give you your wallet. Now you can have your Bitcoin. Okay, it would be easy for them to adopt that into the system. Because if they say, okay, we're outlawing all these other wallets, and your coins that are on these other wallets, if you go after a certain date, those coins have no value whatsoever anymore. Unless they're on the official wallet. And maybe not even on the blockchain. Maybe on a sub-blockchain or something. Maybe like a lightning network kind of a thing, you know, where you kind of go off on a branch. So when you use their wallet, you go off on a lightning network type of branch system or something. See? And then your coins are verified with the government. But they would also be able to, your wallet would only have one address, your address, assigned to you. And they're making it so that they might be able to just switch off into this thing. In fact, that might be the whole plan. A worldwide central bank digital currency. It might already be under our nose and we don't even know it's there. You know, think about this too. Whoever Satoshi is, who the heck knows? He's like Santa Claus. Never seen him before. Don't know who he is. Right? Who the heck knows who Satoshi is? Well, but we do know he's got 1 million Bitcoins. And you know what? What if he bought 1 million more? Or even 2 million more back when they were like a penny a piece? Wouldn't have cost him that much. Right? And got them socked away in a whole bunch of different wallets here, there, and everywhere. Maybe it's our government. And, you know, wouldn't that be a incentive for them to have this system as their new digital gold? Maybe they're keeping mum about it all because maybe they're rooting for Bitcoin. I wondered to myself, you know, for years they had their chance to get rid of Bitcoin when it was smaller, you know. And the only one that really tried it on was China. The PBOC tried to destroy Bitcoin. Maybe they know a lot more than we know about it. Maybe they were trying to destroy it because they've hoarded gold. So they're on gold's side. They're cheering, yay, gold, come on, gold, go gold. The Chinese, you know. And maybe they knew that the Americans are trying to make Bitcoin into the... when I say Americans, I'm talking about probably a compartmentalized part of the government that's working on some of these things, you know. Anyway, and the thing is maybe they knew that that was the plan and it's a war between gold and Bitcoin, and the Chinese wanted gold to win, you know, and maybe the Americans who've sent all their gold east, or also they've rehypothecated it, you know, and leased it out, and it's all went east. Maybe they say, well, okay, we'll fight the Chinese by creating a digital version of this whole thing, you know. Anyway, there's a lot of intrigue in all of this. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't understand. But I wondered to myself for a long time there, you know, it seemed like that Bitcoin existed, and the bankers wanted to take it on. They wanted to get rid of it. It's like J.P. Morgan. They were like, Jamie Dimon, he was like, right on, get rid of Bitcoin. Oh, and a lot of the people within the, like, financiers and stuff, you know, they said, okay, Bitcoin is going to be extinguished. The government will never allow this. Well, maybe they're not thinking the right way. Maybe the government's behind it. You know, because we do know that the CIA, the NSA, developed SHA-256. And SHA-256 is the underlying protocol that Bitcoin runs on. You know, it actually is, the thing is these SHA algorithms, you know, on the internet. This is the underlying protocol that it runs on. So there's a lot of intrigue behind all this. And, you know, I sit there and I think to myself, hey, you know, I'm thinking that something knocked them back 4 years. So 2022 is going to be the year that we slide into the hyperinflation, all the currencies burned. And I can see the triggers for it right now in my mind, openly and clearly. The triggers are the virus starting to recede. Two reasons why that would happen. And they're right under our nose. There's vaccines, and there's a certain degree of herd immunity. Two things coming together. And I'm going to tell you about this virus. It's just like have you ever watched a jet engine or something, you know, or a rocket engine? You know, they're burning hot, a jet engine, and all of a sudden it flames out, what they call flames out. Well, that's the same thing with the darn virus. It can flame out. If something breaks its line of transmission, It has to keep moving. It's like a shark. It has to keep infecting new people in order for it to stay around. And if something breaks its line of transmission, poof, flames out. It can flame out. It can disappear as fast as it comes. In a matter of weeks, it can disappear once it flames out. And what can make it flame out is if there's too many people that have already either had it or had a shot. And it can't infect them. And it just breaks the line of transmission and poof, disappears. That's what happened in China when they did the lockdown. The virus flamed out. Okay, so we got a situation coming that looks to me like it's probably going to make this virus flame out somewhere around mid-next year. And what do you think is going to happen when the virus flames out? Well, people are all going to come out of their homes and everything else, and they're going to be hungry for everything. Amazon is, if you got shares in Amazon, you're going to see retail is going. They're all going to want to go. People like to shop. People like to shop. They like to handle more. They're being forced into this stupid Amazon business and shopping online right now more than they like. People like the old-fashioned people like to go out shopping for clothes or whatever and try them on. You know, and while they're shopping for clothes, they might buy a new TV or whatever, you know? And all this retail's been closing and left and right everywhere. There's very fewer places for them to go. All of a sudden, the few stores that are left open might be so crowded, once this virus flames out and disappears, might be so crowded, just people pulling merchandise off the aisles and they can't even keep it stocked. And the guy looks at that and he says, I'm going to open the store next door to you. It's just closed. It's for lease. I'm going to take it too. I need a loan from the bank. He's running into the bank to get a loan and everything. Everything starts to boom. Boom. It can happen so fast. And make your eyes spin how quick it can happen. So we might start the year next year bad and we might end up really good. We might end up in roses by the time the year's out. But that's going to make the hyperinflation. You see, these guys out there have been saying hyperinflation for years. We can't have a hyperinflation in an economy that's going stale. That's deflation. That's not the right conditions for a hyperinflation. What the conditions that you need for a hyperinflation is the government trying to fix something that's happened, the crisis in the economy, and they're pumping money in on one side. And at the same time, the economy starts to boom on the other side. That's what creates a hyperinflation. It looks to me like the conditions are going to be ripe for it next year. Ripe for a hyperinflation. And so we might finish the year because, you know, when you first start to go into a hyperinflation, money starts to flow. And that feels good when money's flowing around everywhere. People don't pay so much attention that prices are rising too, really fast. But they also, they don't want to keep their savings in that particular currency anymore because it's devaluing, say, at about 10% a month. Who wants to keep savings if you're going to lose 10% every month? So they look for alternatives. Gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies. And they're going to boom when that happens. And right now, all this whole thing about Bitcoin going up and then Bitcoin going down, gold going up and then gold going down, all that'll be over. It'll be just straight up. Up, 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 up. Once the hyperinflation comes. So if you're packing gold, silver, or cryptocurrencies, this might be your last chance to get in before the hyperinflation. Because I think it's coming. And if you want to know when I think it's coming, I think the acceleration phase is going to be from about late summer next year into the winter. That's going to be the acceleration phase. And in January, February, March, first quarter 2022, it's going to be serious inflation. And then as it moves into the summertime and winter of 2022, it's going to be hyperinflation by then, I think. And that's going to happen. The burning bills underneath this Phoenix is going to be mid-burning. It's going to be, and it's 4 years ahead of what they predicted. But 4 years. Think 4 years difference. Something interrupted them, I think, for 4 years. And that's what I think happened. Now, this is just my opinion on the subject, right? But this is what I think's going on. We'll catch you guys in the next show. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.